Well, oftentimes the companies that make the most lasting impressions are those that are truly involved in the community they live in, right? Rockford Homes is not only known for building high quality neighborhoods, they're also making a difference for the people who live in them. So joining me today, we have Vice President for Rockford, Pat Yoakum, along with Dean Pullum. He is the chairperson of the Board for Autism Power. So thank you, gentlemen, both for being here.
Our pleasure.
All right, Pat, let's talk first about kind of this relationship between Rockford Homes and Autism Power. How did that evolve?
About a year and a half ago, I was at a meeting about autism and what parents are struggling with as their kids get older and they get to the transition age of getting out of high school. And one of the gentlemen was also at the meeting was Tony Icampo, who is, he had some very intriguing questions that he asked as well as the ones I asked, and we both kind of caught each other's ear, I guess you could say. So after the meeting, I went over to him, started talking to him about, you know, where he got his passion, and he gave me some background on his family and his daughter, who's also on the spectrum, and the fact that, you know, he had the same concerns. And from there, that kind of grew. Being that, you know, I come from a large family. My wife and I have two sons. One, the oldest, is on the spectrum. He's high functioning, but yet you still have those questions. What's out there for those kiddos? And Tony shared with me his vision. And sorry,
and that is only, I mean, shows even more the passion that you have behind this and the importance of it. And I want everyone to know, kind of, Dean, explain to us what exactly you guys offer. What is Autism Power? I mean, it sounds so powerful, so let us know.
Well, it is. And it's an organization that is built around the passion, as Pat said, of our founder and current CEO, Tony Icampo, who has a daughter on the spectrum. I have the youngest of my 7 children is on the spectrum, and we all share the same kind of emotional connection to being impacted by this condition that makes it difficult for our children to engage with neurotypical children in a way that's generally accepted. So Tony's passion was obviously born from his relationship with his child, his daughter, in trying to figure out how can we develop a program and a set of services that treats children individually, yet in a group setting that allows them to be coached, nurtured, and supported in the process of developing work skills, understanding a work ethic, engaging in the community in appropriate ways, and finding out how to really live their lives to become independent and autonomous as much as individual treatment plans will allow.
And I kind of want to point out, because you kind of focus too a little bit on young adults living with autism,
Correct.
which is important because these kids grow up.
Right.
These kids
Exactly.
have to go into the workforce, and you know, we hear a lot about, you know, in schools getting help, but this is these adults that are, you know, going to become these great functioning people in society, right?
exactly, and they can all attribute to society.
Right.
And, you know, my wife and I are very fortunate. Gregory's had a job the past 2 summers, and he's flourished. But he's flourished because we've made ourselves available to his employer to help them whenever he has one of his little quirks show up.
Right.
Because it could be anything that sets these kids off, and knowing how to deal with that makes them a better person, but it keeps them included and doesn't single them out. And by getting the employers involved as well, or at least having that support from the employer,
Right.
is very much a key as well.
I definitely think that, you know, what you guys are doing and seeing the relationship is so important. I want to let people know there is a launch of Autism Power happening. That's Friday, April 27th. It's with Fort Meyer and Sons Greenhouse, so it's on South Section Line Road in Delaware. So people can probably come learn a lot about this
Absolutely.
You know, organization
Right.
and the amazing things you can do.
Right.
We have volunteers lined up, a lot of which are educators, are people in the profession of helping kids on the spectrum or with special needs. So these kids are always going to be surrounded by people that understand them.
That's awesome.
And you know, the job coaches that we have working with them, is the same thing. It's just a fantastic organization, and you know, this was Tony's dream child.
And you can tell. It's definitely made it clear. We do have links that are scrolling on the screen for Autism Power and for Rockford Homes to learn more about both of these amazing companies. So gentlemen, thank you for being with me.
Thank you for letting us be here.